It is August, and that means one thing: it's time to go back to school. If you're a teacher or a student, that's what August means. I'm Bill Snodgrass, and this video is going to be a little bit different from other videos that I've done, because I'm going to do a virtual interview. A guy I met in a group called No Small Creators. His name's Kevin Johnson, and I'm gonna do some questions for him to answer. Now, Kevin has transcended high school, and I just kind of want to pick his brain a little bit about things that would be of interest to anyone who is still in school, anyone of any age who is still in school. So, with that said, let's talk a little bit about this. One of the things that attracted me to Kevin's channel is a comment he said that it just resonated with me as one of the things that I often say, and he was talking about becoming a better version of yourself. And when I heard him say that, I was like, I want this guy to share. I want this guy to share with people who I might encounter who are still students. And you know, being a teacher, I do encounter a couple of those kinds of people. So I want to give Kevin an opportunity to talk about becoming that better version of yourself.
Becoming the best version of yourself is not as simple as it sounds, because it involves you acknowledging your failures, acknowledging places where you come up short, and actively working to make those things better. You can't just sit around and let life get you down, let life take the spirit away from you. Becoming the best version of yourself is looking life in the face every day and everything that it throws at you, and being able to push beyond that, being able to know where you're going in life and actively pursue that every single day that you wake up. That's my definition, becoming the best version of yourself. And when you can look in the mirror and say, hey, I think I'm at where I'm at, then you keep going, you keep pushing forward. You don't stop, you're never satisfied, you're never complacent in your goals and everything like that.
So the first thing I want to do is give Kevin an opportunity to tell you a little bit about himself, where he's come from, and just kind of like a general overview of who he is and what he's about.
What's going on, everybody? I wanted to first and foremost thank Bill for allowing me to share my story on his channel. A little bit about me: I'm 23. I finished high school probably around 5 years ago. So I've already went on to get my degree and everything. And yeah, I currently am working for the government at access control, and I'm also doing brand expansion / like videography for certain companies in Pennsylvania.
So my first question for Kevin is this. Kevin, tell us a little bit about what you were like in school. What was school like for you? What did you do? That kind of thing. Just give us a little idea of what school was like for you.
For me, school was an interesting experience, to say the absolute least, at least high school. I was the type of kid that always got good grades, would always be on top of my schoolwork, and I was also a student athlete. I played on this field, literally right behind me, for football for 4 years, and I was a captain of the football team my senior year, and the whole road up until that point was something else. I took great pride in being the type of kid that could make friends with literally anybody. So I was friends with the cool people, I was friends with the people who weren't so cool, I was friends with the tech people, and you know, I did everything. I was a Renaissance man in high school. A lot of people knew me for my spoken word performances that I would put on every year at the school. That's how a lot of people came to know who I was. And I wouldn't say I was like super popular, but pretty much the whole school knew who I was and that type of stuff. It was the type of experience where I can look back and say, I think I made the most out of my high school experience.
And so obviously everybody has different interests and everybody has different tastes and things. So what subjects did you like the most, and what subjects did you really not like, or you just kind of tolerated?
As far as subjects go, I was definitely an English guy. I was interested in science. I hated math with like every fiber of my being. Matter of fact, to this day, a lot of the stuff I learned in math, I probably have forgotten. I know how to simply add, and I know how to simply multiply and stuff like that in my head, and that's pretty much about it. I don't remember anything about no polynomial functions or graphing x over y or slope or whatever that stuff was. However, I was a great writer, and I loved I loved reading literature and being able to decipher it. And when we had class and we went over like what certain things meant, I was always able to, tell the class or the teacher what was going on and stuff like that. Like I said, I was always interested in science, mostly astronomy, like stuff about space, but every other science was just kind of to me, pretty much.
If you had the opportunity to talk to, freshmen, students, juniors, seniors, people who are in that transition period, what advice would you give them? What do they need to know to get ready to go from where they are to a place similar to where you are?
If I could talk to freshmen, I'd probably say that coming in from middle school to high school is a pretty big jump. It's going to be definitely big change in your life for the next 4 years. Your freshman year may seem kind of like new and just getting acclimated to things, but by the time you hit your junior year, you'll be fine and you'll be acclimated to the life of high school pretty easily. A lot of different things happen in high school. A lot of people change. A lot of people become more aware of who they are, and you should probably start thinking more along the lines of the stuff that you want to do going forward in your life in the future. Don't get too caught up in the high school lifestyle or whatever, like going out, partying all the time. High school is really a time to find who you are. And if who you are is just going out all the time, not really giving any mind to your schoolwork, then those habits are going to continue into your adult life, and you don't want that. So high school is a good time to start really realizing, what you do well and what you don't. And just don't get too caught up in getting popular. If you're a student athlete, focus on, academics first, and then your athletics, and just buckle down and get stuff done. Have fun, because high school is pretty fun if you do it right. Also, very important, if you're a freshman in high school, you don't have to worry about this yet, but I say if you're planning to go to college, start looking and start applying and stuff your junior year as soon as possible, because the more time you give yourself to really research schools and research the programs that you think you want to be in, the better. Because when your senior year comes, senior year goes by like this, and that goes for college too. I know, because it just happened to me. If you're looking for college in senior year, it's not too late, but you're kind of pushing it. So you want to make sure that you're on top of your game as early as possible.
So introducing myself to you, I mentioned I was a high school teacher, and so for them, the social aspects of life are just enormously important. So as someone who has been through that yourself, and now you're older looking back, just talk a little bit about the importance of your high school friends. Where does that take you 10, 15, 20 years from graduating from high school?
Don't worry about being popular or going out and having a whole bunch of friends, because I guarantee you, once you graduate from high school, when you're in the tunnel for graduation, after you leave that tunnel and you receive your diploma, you're not going to see a lot of those people ever again. And that's it's a sad truth, but it's the truth. When it comes to high school, I'm really only constantly in touch with about 4 or 5 people from high school. And then on top of that, we don't even see each other that often. And we live kind of close. Life hits you hard after high school. So just make sure that you keep the ones that you think are lifetime friends close, and everybody who's kind of keep them at arm's distance.
Developing identity as a person is a huge part of the adolescent experience. Eric Erickson calls it identity formation versus identity crisis. And it's something that's supposed to be accomplished over the period of, some 5 to 10 or so years and leading into adulthood.
High school is really a time to find who you are. And if who you are is just going out all the time, not really giving any mind to your schoolwork, then those habits are going to continue into your adult life, and you don't want that. So high school is a good time to start really realizing, what you do well and what you don't. And just don't get too caught up in getting popular. If you're a student athlete, focus on, you know, academics first, and then your athletics, and just buckle down and get stuff done. Have fun, because high school is pretty fun if you do it right.
What do you think the most important thing you have learned between, you know, elementary school and now? What do you think that is?
The most important thing that I have learned from any type of school is that the connections that you make with other people is what's really going to matter a lot more in the long run. Your education is important, and I will never say that it's not important, but the connections that you make, the people that you meet, the professors that you meet, it doesn't matter what your major is, it doesn't matter what, you know, you are striving to do in life. There's always going to be other people doing the same thing, and people who have similar interests. Find people with similar interests. Find people who are willing to help you and are willing to do things with you that other people aren't. That is so important to me. Make the connections in school, because they could potentially last a lifetime.
All right, well, that's going to bring this video to a close. I gotta do a huge word of gratitude to Kevin Johnson. I've linked his channel earlier on, but it's also going to come in the end screens, or you can get over there and subscribe to his channel for more of these kinds of bits of wisdom from him. Like I said, we just met recently. Hopefully this can be the start of something where we can go forward and, I don't know, maybe do some more creative things like this. I think it was creative. Who knows? Thank you for watching. Let's see, what do you need to do? Like this video, subscribe to this channel, leave me a comment, question. Go subscribe to Kevin's channel, leave him a comment or a question. Now, you can figure that out for yourself. Notifications is always a good idea. Lastly, I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. That's all I got.